this is some bad news. No, it's not bad news. This is not something I would love. The idea is great, but the reality is I know what would happen, right? A movie theater in Switzerland replaced seats with double beds to watch movies. Right? Of course, it sounds great. Kind of. There's problems, but it sounds great. Go to a movie theater. Oh, it's the most comfortable way you can watch a movie, right? Laying down in bed, head propped up, big giant screen, great. Same thing with when movie theaters put in the nice, comfortable lazy boy seats that you can recline. They had little tables on them, right? I remember I went and saw Hateful Eight in a movie theater downtown Denver. Had those big, cushy seats, the table, recliner. Every time I have gone to see a movie in one of those recliner seats, I am constantly either falling asleep or on the verge of falling asleep. And if I were going to watch a movie in these beds, 100%. But then you think about what is going to be happening in those beds in a movie theater. It's just, you go to any bed that is kind of used by patrons on a regular basis is going to get disgusting, right? The same way when you go into a hotel, a motel, a Holiday Inn, right? The comforter never gets washed. The sheets, you put a black light up, you see a kaleidoscope of patterns and colors and stains that you never thought would have existed in the areas and places that they do. And I understand a movie theater, a little bit different. There's going to be multiple people there. So people can't really go as crazy as they would in a hotel or a motel or a Holiday Inn. But not to say that it will never happen. And it's like, I worked at a movie theater. You know what movie theaters don't have? They don't have laundry service, right? They don't have washers and dry. Maybe in Switzerland they do, but they don't have a place where they take the bedding off of the beds because there is no bedding. There's no sheets on movie theater chairs, right, to wash. And you're not going to you have like 5 screenings of a movie in a theater. You're going to wash those sheets between each screening. How many movie theaters? Like, this is like thousands and thousands of sheets of bedding you'd have to wash between each showing. Even if you had extras, that's so crazy. So guaranteed they're not washing things as much as they should. You go into, maybe the idea is to go into the early screening at this theater, right? Because that's the time where the sheets are the less sticky, right? There's not as many wet spots in the sheets when you go first thing in the morning. But if you go to a late screening, man, you might get diseases. I was just like, who's going to want that? I like the idea of the recliner in a movie theater. Great idea. Makes it feel like you're at home, right? The super comfortable. It's definitely comfortable. The best, like, comfort wise to watch a movie, big recliner. But in my experience, you go into a dark room, you're super comfortable. Even if you have a TV going, I'm fighting sleep, constantly fighting sleep. Right? I had a projector in my living room. I had a giant screen everywhere I've lived for like the last decade plus, up until moving out to the desert. Right? And it's so easy to fall asleep. I don't care how big the screen is. If you're sitting down or laying down in a dark room and you're very comfortable, you're going to fall asleep. So, like, I would imagine there's going to be tons of people falling asleep. And imagine that. Imagine, like, laying down on a bed, even if, like, the dirty stuff isn't happening, right? People aren't having sex, which definitely is going to happen. There's going to be hand jobs, right? There's fingering going on. There's hand play going on. There's things that are going to happen. at this theater. But let's say that doesn't happen, right? Somehow you can guarantee nobody's going to play around with each other's genitals or your own, right? Just laying down on a pillow where somebody falls asleep and drools. The idea that the person before you fell asleep on the pillow you're laying on and may have drooled is disgusting enough. So even the idea of this seems good. I don't think it's one of those things. It's like beware what you wish for. You don't want a movie theater full of beds for so many reasons. That's not what's going to fix the movie industry. Right? Not going to be like make going to the movies more of an experience, make it more affordable. People would love that. The subscription stuff is great. Right? Maybe make theaters like have studios not make theaters rely so heavily on their concessions. Right? Let theaters make more money off the ticket sales than they do. Right? Because that's where movie theaters really only make their money off of concessions. So that's why popcorn and soda is insanely priced, right? Studios make a big cut from the ticket sales, right? It's very little money movie theaters make off ticket sales. But if they change that, right? I mean, Disney, there was this thing in Disney tried to do when The Little Mermaid came out, the first one, the animated one. They wanted like over 100% of the ticket sales, which means they wanted to eat into the theater's concession sales, because that's Disney. Disney is like one of the most greediest companies, and I mean they look all sweet and like, here, look at all these nice things, we care about families, but really they're just squeezing every last penny out of you, and every last penny out of anywhere they can get, everywhere, from their customers, from their distributors, from everything. Not the greatest company. But there's like things you can do to make theaters more profitable. And putting beds is just, that's not, were you going to pay more? It's ridiculous. I mean, like, get a hotel room, like for whatever you pay, for whatever they would charge to go watch a movie publicly in a bed. You could almost get a hotel room and just watch it there, and you could do whatever you want on that bed in private. I don't know. Seems like a horrible idea.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at InspiredDisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at InspiredDisorder.com. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.